is for first place in Group A, and it should be a good one. A lot of Russian fans, the majority Russian fans in the crowd. Lots of atmosphere, lots of excitement, and for Team USA, 5 straight wins. It's the third time ever that USA has done that, first time since 1990. And for Russia, their first test really since that opening game when they had the shootout win versus Sweden.
And that's the only minor blemish on their record. Was a shootout win over Sweden. That's the only thing that has kept them from being perfect. And the Team USA, after that opening day loss against Germany, they have reeled off 5 straight wins. Lots on the line. Not bad when you can come down to the second last game of a regulation and have number 1 on the line, and then the last game in the preliminary round will be Latvia and Germany tonight with 4th place on the line. Telegan sends it back to the left point, shot in by Provorov, and that's steered away. Noah Hannafin slides it up the left side, blocked and kept in by Andronov. Dylan Larkin gets to center, no further. Larkin gets stopped there by Gusev. No room for Gusev. And carried out by Bukestad. He'll send it left side to Kaiser, will tip it in. Anton Belov plays it around the boards. Hayes plays it for Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau being watched by Anton Belov. No Mironov in the lineup again for Russia. Second straight game that he has missed. Turned over, Bukestad lets the shot go. And Belov may have got just a piece of that.
And this is what Team USA wants to do. They need to pressure Russia in their own zone, get the turnover, and Bukestad had Gaudreau, goes for the shot, and Vasilevsky just gets a piece of that. And then it hits the iron. A great chance for Bukestad early on in this game. You look at Nick Bukestad, moved on that line with Johnny Gaudreau and Kevin Hayes last game, and they were very productive. Gaudreau picked up a couple of goals.
Just to add more size to it.
Big size, got the 2 big guys in Hayes and Bukestad, and then he got the speed and skill of Gaudreau.
Johnny Gaudreau has had a terrific tournament. Couple of game-winning goals, 9 points to lead Team USA in scoring. Jack Eichel, who has yet to find the back of the net, despite the fact he leads Team USA in shots on goal with 26. Eichel led the Buffalo Sabres in scoring this year in a bit of a shortened year for him. Artemi Panarin, who leads the tournament in scoring, plays this in behind the net, and Team USA right back out of its own zone. Keller to center it in. Keller dishes it off, goes to the front of the net, and a save made by Vasilevsky on the quick shot from Eichel. Kuznetsov drops it back, and in from the line was Ivan Provorov, and he lost his footing and goes down.
Good pace up and down the ice. This game is going to be about that speed and puck possession.
Off the skate, and Jimmy Howard will shovel it into the corner for Connor Murphy. Connor Murphy plays this ahead and out at center ice. Noah Hannafin following the play, and offside is called against Team USA.
Well, this is a young Team USA, 22.7 years of age, the average age. We look at Noah Hannafin playing defense, the 20-year-old. This is a great building to play in. We've seen tremendous crowds this whole tournament, and no exception here. And I'm sure tonight with the host Germans playing, it will be loud once again.
Second place Switzerland, 1 point up on third place, or rather second place Czech Republic, 1 point up on third place Switzerland. Switzerland has scored first. 1 point separates those two teams. And Switzerland has the early lead there. And this is going to be an icing call against Russia.
Bogdan Kasilovic, Russian defenseman, has 2 goals in this tournament. And there's Oleg Znarka, the head coach for Russia. He led them to gold in 2014. Trying to do that again. As the top big game-winning goal against Latvia late.
Christian Dvorak went in to take that face-off. Koppa's had some success in the face-off department in this championship. And this flip pass up the left side boards by Kasilovic ends up in the Russian bench.
Well, Jeff Blashill talked about before the game. He felt his team is built throughout the tournament, something they wanted to set out to do, and they've been able to do it. And in this game, they want to force Russia to defend, to play in their own end. That way, you can limit their offensive chances.
Have the puck. Referee giving some instructions. Anzi Salonen and Daniel Stricker are your referees. Salonen from Finland, Stricker out of Switzerland. Gaudreau in behind the Russian net. Try to get it back to the left point. Does. Brady Shea back for Johnny Gaudreau. In for Bukestad. Back to the right point it goes, and this gets sent down low by McAvoy. Bukestad chopped away from him by Belov. Kept in by Kevin Hayes, down for Bukestad, in for Johnny Gaudreau. McAvoy jumps in, and that's off a skate. Godunov takes it for Russia. Finds a little bit of room and takes it. Drops for Sapachev, looking for Panarin. Panarin goes cross ice, slap shot Orlov, and that's off a leg and wide. Dmitry Orlov, Kevin Hayes, and a penalty coming up. It's going to go to Artem Zub as he got the stick up on Brock Nelson.
Good pressure from the U.S., a good pinch in from the point, McAvoy, and then the first Russian gets it. Artem Zub just out in the neutral zone. He clears his back up the wall. He's going to get his stick up as Nelson comes in to finish his check. So the first power play of the game goes to Team USA. They're 5 for 19, 26% in the tournament. Russia sits atop both the power play and the penalty kill in the tournament. They have killed 13 of 14 penalties for a 93% rate.
20th power play. There's a shot by Gaudreau right off the face-off, and Andrei Vasilevsky makes that save.
Gaudreau tied for the tournament lead with 6 goals, and he gets a good chance there to grab the lead outright. Is a nice save from Vasilevsky.
20th power play for Team USA. They had 44 last year in the event, which was second most. Noah Hannafin, high slot for Dylan Larkin. Larkin dishes it off, and Anders Lee, who has 4 power play goals, was looking for that down low tip. Jack Eichel drops it back. Lee bangs away at it. Eichel is there as well, and it gets cleared, and here comes Ivan Telegin. Russia's penalty killing #1 in this championship, and only the 15th shorthanded situation for Russia, and that is best in that category. Noah Hannafin sends it ahead for Eichel. Eichel for Larkin. Larkin back for Eichel, tried to get it to Lee, but it comes away from him, and Kachev will send it back.
Talk about all the offense of Russia, but they've been very good defensively. Maybe the best player there, Vasilevsky.
Turned over again. Nemesnikov gave it away to Brock Nelson. Nelson chases this down, plays it around the boards. Power play continues with 45 seconds left. Schmaltz circles in the corner. Redirect back to the blue line, and a slap shot by Jacob Trouba, and that's deflected up and out of play.
Anders Lee, such a big body in front of the net as he gets good position on Vasilevsky. The shot comes through from Larkin, and everyone's jamming away at it. That puck bouncing, eventually cleared by Gavrikov in front. I think he may have taken a slash at the end of that play. You mentioned Anders Lee's been very good on the power play. Parked right in front, that big body at 6'3", 228 pounds.
Lots of speed in this game, but it's still going to be a big man's game. Trouba back into his own zone. Jacob Trouba leads all USA players in average ice time, 20 minutes and 10 seconds. per game, just 3 seconds per game average up on Connor Murphy. Turned over at center, and Kisilovic will test Jimmy Howard from a long ways out.
Hey, that deflected off Brock Nelson right at the red line.
Back in for Schmaltz. Power play is over. Zub is back on the ice and shovels the puck back to the USA line. Jacob Trouba quickly up on that right side. USA back in on the attack. Vasilevsky steered that one wide. Dodonov is on it. And Schmaltz, who had that shot looking for a line change, makes his way to the US bench. Long shift for him. Andrew Kopp sends it on the right side, and Bukestad will play this in. After a JT Comfort, back for Andrew Kopp. Kopp finds some space, gets hounded there though by Dmitry Orlov. Orlov got bumped by Bukestad, and it's back in the Russian end of the ice. JT Comfort, that's blocked it away, and play goes on as it was knocked down with a high stick of Andrew Kopp. And had a USA player touch that, we would have had a stoppage. And a pass cross ice and a good step up there for Clayton Keller, who breaks it up. Scoreless, USA, Russia.
So ice hockey fans, the front round is coming up. Quarterfinals, semifinals, bronze medal game, and final. And for all those games, there's still tickets available at the arena box offices and on the official website of this World Championship. It's www.ihfworlds2017.com. Liebe Fans, es gibt noch für alle Spiele und Spieltage der Finalrunde ausreichend Tickets an der Tageskasse der Lanxess Arena und auch online auf www.ihfworlds2017.com. Also Tickets fürs Viertelfinale, fürs Halbfinale, Spielplatz 3 und Finale, alles noch ein.
Дамы и господа, сообщаем вам, что существуют наличие билеты на четвертьфиналы и полуфиналы.
Fans waiting for something to cheer about, mainly Russian fans. USA making sure that doesn't happen. And you watch Russia, the puck possession, they don't like to dump it in. They're going to try and regroup, gain speed in that neutral zone. In that last play, Keller, a good job, sticks in those lanes, don't allow those long passes ahead as they try to open and stretch the ice. Keller has had a really good tournament here for the 18-year-old, 5 goals.
Brady Shea back in his own zone, the second highest scoring NHL rookie defenseman this past season behind Zach Werenski. Ivan Provorov is in this game. He was 4th. Here comes Brock Nelson with Dylan Larkin. Nelson to Larkin. And a good back check there by Nemestikov to stay on Larkin. Schmaltz cross ice, tipped away by Artemi Panarin. Centered out front and a blast, and another penalty coming to Russia. So Team Russia, who had the fewest penalties in the tournament coming into this game, will be shorthanded for the second time.
USA's done exactly what they've wanted. They've been able to pressure Russia's zone, and Russia, they don't want to play defense in their zone. They want to play the other way. And it's a slash to Kucherov as he knocks the stick out of Brady Shea. Not much of a slash, but the stick comes out and the call is made. So the U.S. get their second power play of this game. Oleg Znarka, maybe not the start he wanted, but Jeff Blashill happy with what he sees.
Dylan Larkin digs in for the face-off. Larkin has taken 102 draws. 103 now. His percentage is very good. Eichel back at the line for Hannafin. Back for Jack Eichel. 62.7% for Dylan Larkin in the face-off department. Turned over, and Ivan Telegan will snap this down the ice. 32 goals for Russia in the 6 games that they have played. That is tops so far in this 2017 championship.
5 goals against, and that is best.
Noah Hannafin gets it to Dylan Larkin, and Vasilevsky another save. Russia has not given up a goal since very late in the Germany game, which was game 3. Another save by Wasielewski off of Lee. Eichel tied up in the corner with Dmitry Orlov. And the puck around for Dylan Larkin. Larkin pitches it back for Noah Hannafin. A right pad save made by Wasielewski. Came to the side of the net and Kachov is there to send it down.
They're getting their chances, pucks to the net bodies. It's just a matter of those scrums right on top of the blue paint finding the loose puck.
Jacob Trouba dishes for Kevin Hayes. Hayes being watched in a good defensive play is Antipin against the much bigger Hayes. Got his skate on that and made sure it got out. But right back in for Team USA. Antipin blocked that blast from Hayes. On the puck goes Brock Nelson though for Hayes. Hayes trying to work it down for Schmaltz. Nelson jams it against the boards, gets some help from Hayes. Hayes finds Trouba. He was looking off that back post at Schmaltz. And Russia now 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. But it's been a quiet game so far in Jimmy Howard's end of the ice. Slap shot from the line, blocked it away by Wasielewski. Up for Evgeny Dodonov, he'll play it back, Sepachov. Sends it back for Vasiljevic.
You're right, Jimmy Howard, not much going on, but Vasilevsky's looked good. 9-1 the shots in favor of USA.
Andrew Kopp breaks up that long pass. Christian Dvorak, the wrister. And turned away by Vasilevsky, and then Dvorak gets ridden into the boards by Vasiljevic. After it is Andrew Kopp. Kopp to the front of the net. Back at the left point. Danny DeKeyser sends it down low. Bukestad. And that pass got intercepted. Dodonov delays. Had Sepachov. Sepachov mishandled it against Danny DeKeyser. Gusev back in his own end. And that line will change for Russia. To the line and no further for Kuznetsov. And that's brought in by Barabanov. An offside called.
Some more chances in front of the net. Johnny Gaudreau as it goes to Larkin to Lee again. And Vasilevsky, that paddle down flat. He's going to put the blocker down. Make sure he gets it flat. Makes the stop as Lee looking for the redirect right in front on the power play. He has had some good chances in this game to open up the scoring.
Latvia, Germany here tonight. Our third game of the day. Canada, Finland will wrap it up over in Paris. Finland is still in that battle for 4th, 2nd, and 3rd as well. Zub in his own zone. Barabanov gets to the line, jams it in, doesn't get it deep though, and Gaudreau is on it. Turned over at the line, and they're going to say that this did come out. The linesman for this game, Miroslav Lotsky of the Czech Republic, Andreas Malmqvist of Sweden.
USA's done a good job holding their blue line, and for Russia, they're trying to enter that zone, carrying the puck with speed, and they have been very unsuccessful so far in this game. There's a look at Panarin's tournament. The 13 points to lead all point getters, and he did miss one game, so 13 points in 5 games.
Despite missing one game, also leads Russia in shots on goal with 22.
Started the tournament on a line with Sepachov and Dodonov, but since it's moved with the two Lightning players, Namestnikov and Kucherov.
The 25-year-old who looks like he's about 13. Done 2 very good years in the National Hockey League with the Chicago Blackhawks. Noah Hannafin has done 2 years with the Carolina Hurricanes, the former number 5 overall pick. And he'll play this into the U.S. end of the ice in Antipin. The bank pass trying to find Namestnikov, and we're going to have an icing call against Team USA.
There's a look at Noah Hannafin you're just talking about. Finished 2nd year with Carolina, 81 games, 29 points. Well, they're quiet right now. They're waiting for a reason to cheer.
Number 5 in that draft for Hannafin and was McDavid, Eichel, Strome, Mitch Marner, Hanifin, Pavel Zacha, Ivan Provorov, Zach Werenski. Pretty good draft. Vasilovic chased back into his own zone by Schmaltz. Schmaltz lost his footing, went down. And back in for Russia. Vasilovic, the defenseman who has 2 in the tournament, trying to lead the attack, but Brock Nelson takes over. Plays it for Eichel, and Eichel ripped that one high and wide. Hanifin for Connor Murphy. And the captain will ram this one in. Cleared right back out. Gusev's in behind everyone. Scores! Nikita Gusef, who missed a breakaway in the opening game or the opening period yesterday, gets another one today and doesn't miss.
That's the danger of the Russian team. Just one chance. As good as USA has been, very opportunistic. They love to get behind the play. Gusev's going to come off the bench, skate right into this puck that gets out into the neutral zone, and he goes 5-hole on Jimmy Howard. And Nikita Gusev opens up the scoring, and Russia with the lead, his third of the tournament. Gusev played for St. Petersburg in the KHL. Big numbers there. He's fourth in the league in scoring with 71 points, and his team here, Russia, has a 1-0 lead.
Just the second shot on goal for Russia, as they've had to kill off some penalties in this one. Johnny Gaudreau, he's stripped to the puck. And back into Dodonov. Serpachov, Gusev looking for Dodonov. And that was picked off by Kevin Hayes. And yet another penalty coming. Are we having doubles?
I think we're going to see both players go.
It is 1-0 Russia.
It's going to be just one penalty to Charlie McAvoy as he gets the interference call, trips up Nadim Serpachov right in front of the U.S. net, and now the biggest challenge of all possibly trying to slow down this power play of Russia in this tournament. They are 12 for 21, 57% with the man advantage, and they get their first power play of the game.
Artemi Panarin for Anton Belov. Belov has a power play goal in this tournament. Artemi Panarin has a couple. Shane mentioned Russia has 12. Dodonov down low. Couldn't get a stick on it. Serpachov. Panarin. Serpachov. Cross for Anton Belov. And that shot got blocked. Connor Murphy got in front of it. Panarin, Serpachov, Dodonov, Belov, and again, Connor Murphy playing goal and blocked it.
Two great plays by the captain, Connor Murphy, just getting into the shot lane at the right time.
These two teams met for bronze last year. Russia won it 7-2. A couple of the players who were big offensive contributors that game not in the lineup for Russia. Mosyakin left the tournament after getting slew-footed. And Pavel Datsyuk, an injury keeping him out of this tournament. Kucherov for Kuznetsov, and he'll play it back, and Ivan Provorov sends it back. Kuznetsov carries in, circles, finds Provorov. Provorov to the far side for Kucherov and back for Provorov. Kuznetsov. And a pile up in the high slot, and who's getting the penalty? Jacob Trouba tied up with Nemesnikov.
It's going to be a 4-minute. Truba's bleeding, and it's a high stick call. Sergei Plotnikov, I believe, is going to get the call right in front. He's battling as he turns. He catches Trouba up high.
Wow.
So 22 seconds remaining to the McAvoy penalty. And then the U.S. will go on a lengthy power play as Trouba certainly needs attention in front. We talked about it for what has been a very disciplined Russian team coming into this game. Now they've already taken 4 penalties here in this first period as a double minor to Plotnikov. Plotnikov has had a good tournament, 3 goals for Russia. Former Pittsburgh Penguin and Arizona Coyote player.
Chance that emotions running a little high on that Russian bench.
I think so. The pressure's on them. They're the ones that expect to finish first, but I think this young speed and size on U.S. team is going to give them a challenge.
And keep in mind, for all the NHL players involved in this game, you have those season-long battles that sometimes can carry over. But it's probably more Russia versus USA. To the front of the net, and Jimmy Howard robs Ivan Telegan. Andronov with a terrific setup.
Big save by Howard is lost coverage on Telegan. Andronov pulls up. Nobody takes Telegan going to the net. He has a step on Eichel, and that is a huge save by Jimmy Howard. As Ivan Telegan a great chance to add to the Russian lead, but Howard makes the save. Not easy sometimes when you've had as quiet a period as Howard. Just his 3rd shot he has seen.
Just 3 shots in this period now for Russia, that being the 3rd. They had 4 against Sweden in the 2nd period. That is their other low. Other than that, they have been able to put up some numbers in the opening period, including 17 against Slovakia, 15 against Latvia, 13 against Germany. They love playing with the lead, and they do have the lead here 1-0, despite the fact they have been outplayed.
Oh, and it's up to the U.S. now. They have to capitalize, use these power play chances.
It is a double minor to Plotnikov. Johnny Gaudreau. Dylan Larkin back for Gaudreau. Eichel and Vasilevsky with Anders Lee in his face. And Vasilevsky, and there's that frustration that we've been seeing from Jack Eichel.
Wow, he's had so many opportunities. And another great play by Gaudreau. Just recognizes the pressure, understands where that puck has got to go for the opening, and Eichel able to one-time that and right into the crest of Vasilevsky. Eichel, no goals in the tournament with 4 points, but not from lack of shots. He's had his chances.
2nd World Championship for Vasilevsky. He was the backup to Sergei Bobrovsky back in 2014. Did get into a couple of games, allowed but 1 goal. And of course, part of that gold medal winning team in 2014 in Minsk. Russia on the penalty kill. And on the backhand, Ivan Provorov. Jacob Trouba back on the ice after getting some attention. And here comes the big defenseman. Trouba had it knocked off his stick, and Hayes just couldn't corral it. Back for Kachov. And Kachov trying to break free and couldn't do it. Trouba. For Schmaltz, on for Keller. Keller at +8 coming into this game to lead Team USA in the plus-minus category.
Down to a minute and a half in that second double minor to Plotnikov.
Under 3 to go, period 1. Hanifin, he'll drop it back. See so many teams do that now. Outside in move off that far side by Eichel. Eichel tracks this down off the sideboards. Back for Hanifin. Hanifin down for Larkin. And Andrei Vasilevsky making it look easy.
He has been fantastic for Team Russia in this game. They've had chances, USC. In tight, all these plays. He's done a good job holding the line. And they got a little support from Nikita Gusев on the second shot of the game. He went 5-hole on a breakaway. And other than that, it has been Andrei Vasilevsky standing tall.
Talk about Russia's goals against and how good it is. It's a very young defense core or goaltending group. There's another save by Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky is 22. Ilya Sorokin, who picked up the shutout last night, is 21.
Well, what notice here, you take a look at the last 4 shots the U.S. has taken, there has not been a rebound. He has just made everything up, and Kasilovich gets the stick up high on Larkin that goes uncalled.
This is not a friendly. Eichel, another shot and blocked. Ivan Telegin goes down and blocked it. And Telegin slow to get up and crawls his way to the Russian bench. Anders Lee back for Eichel, and then Lee will head right for the front of the net. 30 seconds left in the double minor to Plotnikov. Turned over by Dylan Larkin. Larkin steals it back. Hanifin, Eichel looking cross ice, and that got intercepted and cleared. Hanifin. Gorbanov got a piece of that cross ice pass. Here comes Hayes. He'll drop for Keller. Clayton Keller sends it deep, goes in after it. Keller with 5 goals in this tournament so far, and the power play is over. Shot and another save. McAvoy out of the penalty box as he served his minor a while back, and now back in deep in that Russian zone. And now Plotnikov, who had the double minor, will make his way to the Russian bench. And this building is alive. Into the final minute. Andrew Kopp lets the shot go, and we'll get a stoppage.
Another play, another slashing call to Nikita Kucherov as he knocks the stick out of Dvorak's hand. Here's a block by Ivan Telegin right off the top of the left knee. He crawled his way to the bench for the change, but Russia just undisciplined. And Kucherov already got a penalty for knocking the stick out of the hand, as Telegin will get attention on the Russian bench. The 5th power play in this first period for Team USA.
And all 5 have been stick infractions and not hooking or tripping. Zub went for high sticking, Kucherov slashing, Plotnikov the double minor for high sticking where he drew blood on Jacob Trouba, and now Kucherov for slashing.
Saw Telegin hurt, one of the top penalty killers for Russia.
Plotnikov jams this out at center. Noah Hanifin. Here comes Dylan Larkin. Larkin down for Eichel. Eichel ridden to the backboards, and Tipin tried to kick it for Plotnikov. Down low from the left point to hold it in there was Hanifin along with Anders Lee, and it's back for Hanifin now as Lee heads back to visit Vasilevsky. In front shot, and Vasilevsky through traffic to save off Larkin. Another shot by Eichel at the buzzer, and the first period comes to an end, scoreless. story of that opening period, Andrei Vasileiski, as Team USA outshot Russia 16-3. Jimmy Howard only 3 saves, but a couple of them were very good saves.
Well, they were, and the one goal was on a breakaway. Gusef got in behind everyone. That said, Team USA starts the second here with 1:13 remaining on the power play. This is their 5th power play of the game.
And ice times, because of all those power plays, way out of whack. Noah Hannafin, 8:31. Johnny Gaudreau, 8:25. Dylan Larkin, 8:24. On the other side of it, JT Compher, 1:49. Andrew Kopp, 3:21. Dvorak, 2:09. Period like that, if you don't play the power play, your ice time is going to be down. Here comes Eichel again. Anders Lee waits for it. Back for Eichel. Watched by Bogdan Kasilovic. And Tiepin gets tied up. Into the slot, shot right on. Save made as Johnny Gaudreau unloads on the one-timer.
Great chance, and Vasilevsky very quick. He has looked sharp throughout this whole tournament. And the Tampa Bay Lightning netminder makes the big one off Gaudreau as the one-timer. USA continues to put pucks to find those areas. Now it's just a matter of finding a way to beat Vasilevsky.
Dylan Larkin, 3 shots on goal in that opening period. That was Johnny Gaudreau's 3rd shot of this game. We welcome all those watching on NBCSN as Team USA battles Russia. Off the backside, score! Kevin Hayes, the recipient of a rebound, and Team USA finally capitalizes on the power play. It's 1-1.
Talked about being a big bench game, and if you're going to beat Vasilevsky, you need bodies in front. And as Brock Nelson, great play in front. He's parked right in front of Vasilevsky as they're going to move this around, get the shot, traffic, and then a little feed off to the side. Everybody's focused on that puck in front, and it starts at the blue line. Puck to the net by Keller. Everybody comes to the puck, and Brock Nelson just pushes it over. And Kevin Hayes, Vasilevsky almost gets back in time, but Hayes beats him. It is a 1-1 game as they finally get the power play to come through.
Second game for Kevin Hayes after coming over after the New York Rangers were eliminated. He played 16 minutes and 36 seconds. In game 1, had 3 shots on goal, was a +3, and he won 3 or 4 faceoffs. So the USA finally connects with the man advantage. Another shot up high. Vasilevsky makes the save and holds on. Brock Nelson sailed that one in.
Oh, it's a good battle by Nelson. Being that body, being a big, strong player in front, him and Provorov with the battle. You can see the screen, Vasilevsky around, and then the play over to the side. That is a big play by Nelson. Both those Islander players, him and Lee, take duties in front of the net on the power play.
6.5 minutes of ice time in that opening period for Ivan Provorov. Dylan Larkin back out, faced off with Domestikov. Domestikov wins that one. Coming into the second period, Dylan Larkin 63%. In the face-off department, he was 7 of 11 in that opening period. He was now 71 of 113 over the course of the game. Is a big goal for Team USA, has tied it, and Nelson with a chance. Larkin knifed that to the front of the net, and Gavrikov almost had that go off of him. Nemesnikov, he'll drop it back. Kucherov fires in on Jimmy Howard. And the 35-year-old Howard will make the save.
Kucherov, the shot from the wall, easy save for Howard. That line, though, spending the majority of their time in their own zone. And Kucherov, who's had a good tournament, 11 points, 5 goals. And that shot from the outside, the 40-goal scorer with Tampa this past season. Had a great year, career year with the Lightning. 5th in scoring in the NHL.
Not in a very good mood today, perhaps. No. He's taken a couple slashing penalties. And that second one proved costly. but plenty of firepower on that Russian squad. Dodonov tries to swing it cross ice. That gets turned over, and the puck got away from Johnny Gaudreau.
I mentioned the firepower, but for Team USA, continue to frustrate Russia, force them to play in their own end, create those turnovers when he can, as Hayes is going to push this forward to Gaudreau, and right at the last second, and Keepin gets his stick in there. That's just enough as that puck gets away from Gaudreau.
Connor Murphy for JT Comfort. He'll play it into the corner for Christian Dvorak. Dvorak tried to play it back in behind the net, looking for Andrew Kopp, and is grabbed and cleared by Provorov. Little redirect for Valery Nichushkin. In for Kuznetsov. He got hooked. Play goes on.
I believe it's Dvorak who got back with a good defensive stick just at the right time.
Back is Belov. Cleared up at center. Russia back in on the attack as Kuznetsov almost went in alone. And now it's turned over. And back for Kopp. He got wrapped up. And play goes on. To the right point for Charlie McAvoy. A little bit of a tip at the side of the net by Kopp, and that didn't miss by a whole lot. Back around for Reichel. At the line, slap shot, blockered away by Vasilevsky. Zub sends this up to the line, but not out. Down for Clayton Keller. Keller takes it to the front of the net. Back on it is Eichel. Battle in the corner with Kuznetsov and Lee. And Nichushkin will jam this out at center. Now Belov in with Barabanov. Belov, the shot. And it was partially stopped in front. And then may have trickled wide. Eichel bounces it in on Vasilevsky. He'll leave it for Gavrikov. On for Kasilovic. The shot's 22-5 in favor of Team USA.
Christian Dvorak took away a shot. Quick plays up the middle, and Kuznetsov trying to protect this puck, and there is a great defensive play. Dvorak, legal stick lift on the way back, and then McAvoy, as Belov tries to outweight this, McAvoy gets his stick there just in time, as it was a 2-on-1 for Russia. So defensively, Team USA doing a great job.
Stick on stick by Dvorak. It did not get up into the hands. And the back official, with a good view of it, makes the correct non-call. Dylan Larkin puts on the brakes. Larkin back into the slot, and Vasilevsky makes the save with traffic in front. Back to Hanifin, and that's off the leg and wide. Gavrikov for Plotnikov, and on for Ivan Telegan, who is back out. Telegan blocked the shot in the first and got hurt. Plotnikov shot, and that got blocked. Dmitry Orlov, he'll put it to the front of the net, kicked away by the right pad of Jimmy Howard. Orlov for Antipin. And back for Orlov. Antipin now will lead the rush. Lets the wrister go, steered away by Jimmy Howard. Artemi Panarin plays it around the boards. Kucherov back for Panarin. He's got Nemesnikov in front. And by the time he gained control of it, he had no room.
An example of what they want to do, try and spread that ice, the big ice surface in the zone.
There's a steal. In is Nemesnikov. And Howard got a piece of that, and it may have ticked off the post. And on it is Jacob Trouba. This gets stuffed out at center, and Kevin Hayes will play it the rest of the way. Vasilevsky. He finally gave up a goal here early in the second period. His teammates didn't do a lot to help him extend that shutout streak with the penalties that they have taken. Connor Murphy, and that shot is blocked. Anton Belov fell in front of it. Provorov having all sorts of trouble with it. And finally does get it to Dodonov. Sapachev takes it wide. At the line finds Gavrikov, who finds Gusev. And Gusev looking for his second of the game, but Jimmy Howard denies. It's a 1-1 tie.
Every quick block is a win. Contract worth 1,000 euros. Die meisten Fans unterstützen den deutschen Eishockey-Nachwuchs und kommt dann los bei der 50-50-Lotterie. Die Hälfte geht direkt in die Nachwuchsarbeit, die andere Hälfte in den Jackpot. Jedes fünfte Los gewinnt und der derzeitige Jackpot-Stand liegt bei 1.000 Euro.
Дамы и господа, победители программы распределения силовой Германии, победители лотерейный билет лотереи 50/50. Она половина ключки пойдет на работу с молодежью. Другая программа «Джекпот». Каждый пятый билет выигрышный. И на настоящий момент джекпот составляет 1000 евро. Спасибо.
Nikita Gusев has the goal for Russia. Has them up 1-0. Had a good chance. Jimmy Howard, after majority of the play, he's watched at the other end of the ice. Vasilevsky making the save. He has to come up with a couple. The last on Gusev as Russia finally getting something going in the offensive zone. Something we've seen all tournament. They like to spread it out, use the large ice. We'll see if the USA can counter back, but it has been a good game here. The US has tied it in this period with a power play goal of 1-1.
Kuznetsov comes out with Barabanov. And Barabanov has it. Tries to wrap around. It's off a skate. Jimmy Howard shuts it down.
Good job in front by Brady Shea boxing out big Valerie Nichushkin. Kucherov, a great steal there off Nick Schmaltz, and then the pass in Panarin over to Nemesnikov. The quick shot by him. See, that goes off the outside of the post. That line off the turnover. Good play by Kucherov, just winning the battle.
Dmitry Orlov, the long wrist shot, that went wide. Orlov had 3 shots on goal in his debut. This is his second game. Third out at center. Russia coming off the 5-0 win over Latvia. Orlov stuffs it in, goes in after it. USA 1 for 4 on the power play and 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. Orlov breaks it up. Barabanov behind the net for Andronov. Andronov fights off a check at the line. Belov scores! Anton Belov can flat out drill it.
You don't want to let him walk into this puck. It's off a good forecheck by Sergei Andronov, who gets in, wins the battle, just centers the puck out in front of the net. This goes off a player, I believe Plotnikov, and Belov just skates into that and hammers that home. But there's the work. Good play, Sergei Andronov gets around Shane Plotnikov. I think he tips that puck, and Belov beats Howard to the blocker side. Russia gets the lead back 2-1.
So it was a slow start offensively for Anton Belov. He now has goals in back-to-back games after leading all defensemen in scoring last year.
Wearing the C for Russia after Sergei Mozyakin got injured, who had the C previously in this tournament.
Plotnikov and Kopp had to get a little lecture from the officials.
Assisted by number 16.
So Plotnikov
number 11.
and Andronov
27 minutes, 33 seconds.
pick up the assists on that goal. And Russia back in front 2-1. So dangerous offensively. Controlled by Connor Murphy. The left point sent down low by Noah Hannafin. After a JT Comfort. Back for Connor Murphy. To the front of the net from Andrew Kopp, and that got steered away. Murphy plays it back down low. Dvorak jams it out of the pile, but Plotnikov is there to send it for Gavrikov. And Gavrikov. We talked about the players, the Russian players, trying to control their emotions. As fired up as this crowd is, that would be difficult.
Oh, would they feed off the crowd here? It's just mainly Russian fans.
In on Zub. Hannafin got tied up. Larkin on the loose puck. Bounces around, and now Hannafin will make his way back to the left point. Trouba pinched in, took a dive at the puck and couldn't make contact. In for Kucherov. For Panarin, he tried to redirect that to the front of the net with a skate. Dylan Larkin lets the wrister go. Blocker save made by Vasilevsky. Johnny Gaudreau leads Team USA in scoring. Dylan Larkin is second, 1 point back with 8. Larkin 1 goal, 7 assists, 8 points. Panarin back at the line for Dmitry Orlov. In for Panarin, the one-timer. And Jimmy Howard came across and made the save. Sapachev back for Panarin. Panarin in a battle there with Van Riemsdyk. Eichel tied his man up, and now Eichel and Sapachev go at each other a bit. Way in behind the play, Dodonov had been knocked down. Rister from the line never got through, and now Dodonov goes in with a hit of his own. Connor Murphy drills it, and that's off Panarin. And a break, here comes Dodonov. And a diving play by Charlie McAvoy.
Great play by McAvoy. He was going for the change when that puck came out, but he gets back just in time. Starting to get a little more chippy out there in physicals. Both teams going at each other along the wall.
There's lots of late shots. Kuznetsov takes it around the net, plays it for Zub. Back for Kuznetsov, in for Dodonov, and he got knocked off stride. Zub holds it in. Gets it back from Dodonov. Finds Kuznetsov, he whistled it high, and it's going to come outside the line. But it's the long change for USA. Clayton Keller, the only one able to get off. Cross-ice pass, and that is blocked by McAvoy. And now Team USA will get some fresh people on the ice. Stolen by Kevin Hayes. Gavrikov. +8 for him in this tournament, leads Russia. Andronov, who's played very well for Russia in this tournament. Plotnikov finds Provorov in the slot. Andronov looking for his fourth. Plotnikov looking for his fourth. And Jimmy Howard.
What a chance for this line, and we know there's a lot of skill. This line's some size and a little grit to it. Andronov the shot, the save, and Plotnikov has time as Howard gets over. Here's McAvoy with a hit earlier on Dodonov that had him upset. Dodonov on the breakaway, McAvoy diving to get back just in time as he's able to poke that puck off to the corner. Young Charlie McAvoy, 19 and busy year for him. World Junior Gold and finished off college. Joined the Boston Bruins for 3 games. PU, World Juniors, Boston Bruins, and now here at the World Championship.
Held by Vasilevsky. Wow, they just won't stop.
surprised the intensity has picked up in the crowd, but it certainly has on the ice. These teams have been a fast pace, but now the pushing, the shoveling, the little extras after the whistle have also intensified. So usually makes for a good game, and that's what we have. Russia leading 2-1 at this point, but the U.S. has certainly had the better of the opportunities. Russia's starting to push back a little more in this second period.
Talk about the intensity, I guess, with first place on the line for the winner. I guess that's the way it should be.
First place is a guarantee you stay here in Cologne. You don't have to travel to Paris and then possibly back.
Bouncing puck at the line, kept in. Nelson to Larkin, scores! Dylan Larkin ties this game 2-2.
Just like that, a turnover at the blue line. And Dylan Larkin, who has a goal, but it was an empty net, gets his first one past the netminder as he beats Vasilevsky. 9 points on the tournament for Larkin, and here's the play. Goes off the glove, and then Belov pokes it free, overskated at the blue line by Nemesnikov, and Larkin just skates it to the hash marks, and he beats Vasilevsky to the glove side. As Brock Nelson gives him the pass, quick shot, and it is 2-2.
So Dylan Larkin with his 9th point of the tournament moves into a team tie with Johnny Gaudreau. And Brock Nelson with the setup. Trouba, he'll chip this in. Dodonov gets it away from Hannafin. Odd man rush. Dodonov into the slot, fires, that's blocked. Sapachev took a whack at it and missed. And back up for Clayton Keller. Keller sends it down for Eichel. Gets past him and Anders Lee is on it. Anders Lee throws it to that backside. Eichel was there, couldn't get a stick on it though. Orlov tries to play it up the boards. And Artem Zub looking for Gusev. Gusev had to get away from him. Hayes was poke checked. And Sapachev will get it out at center and back to the USA line. Hannafin plays give and go with Trouba. And icing is going to be the call against USA.
Dylan Larkin wearing the A, and here's the play one more time. Belov overskated by Nemesnikov. Nelson just going to pick it up. He gives it to Larkin. He just skates it in, and a good shot, low blocker. U.S. have not quit this one.
Dylan Larkin, part of the University of Michigan connection on this USA squad. There are plenty of them. Hannafin, who was looking for a change but had to stay because of the icing call. Skates it out, dumps it in, and makes the switch. Here comes Nichushkin. Back for Kasilovic. He'll play it down low. McAvoy rubbed his man out. Nichushkin is on it. And this will get sent out at center ice. Gavrikov back for Kasilovic. Bogdan Kasilovic for Vladislav Gavrikov. Gavrikov, the 21-year-old Columbus Blue Jacket pick in 2014, but plays in Yaroslavl of the KHL. Lead pass for Christian Dvorak. Too far for him, and he and Kasilovic bump. Barabanov tries to catch up to that, never could. Cross-ice pass off the sideboards, Dvorak. And good recovery there by Antipin, who plays in the KHL. Sharp angle chance, JT Comfort. And that's steered wide. Kopp goes in after it. Murphy through the middle, deflected in by Dvorak. USA on a change. Antipin Gets it back in behind his own net. And gets the return pass. And sends it back for Provorov. In for Telegan. Telegan plays it back near side. 4:40 left to go here in the second period in a 2-2 tie. And Tiepin will snap this in from center ice. In with the hit is Plotnikov. Andronov is out there. Nemestikov now in on the forecheck, and we are going to get a penalty. It's going to be interference against Team USA.
I believe so. Connor Murphy's going to get the call. So play slowed down for a while and comes back in. Andronov had the hit on Murphy initially, and then they're going to call the interference after the play. There's the hit by Murphy as the puck goes low. Little interference with Plotnikov, so Russia gets their second power play of the game. Connor Murphy, not only the penalty, one of their best penalty killers, had a couple of key blocks the last time Russia was on the power play.
Switzerland leading Czech Republic 2-1. Winner of that game will finish second over in Paris.
Number 5, Connor Murphy.
Second power play of the game for Russia. Artemi Panarin. Vadim Sapachov winds his way to the line, sends it deep, waiting for it to Donov. For Panarin, stripped to the puck. Possible odd man, short-handed chance, US. And the drop pass for Trouba didn't work. 3-on-1 the other way. Sapachov in for Gusev, scores.
That pass by Sapachov, I did not think he had time to get it up, over, and down for Gusev, but he does, as Nikita Gusiev has his second of the game. A rush one way, and it's a poke check as Dvorak can't get it to Trouba. They turn back the other way as the Don up to Sapachov, and what a pass by him as it goes right over top, a 3-on-1. Hanifin goes down, and right as it lands, Gusev puts it into the top corner. Another example of that skill Russia has as Dvorak knows the turnover hurt them as they remain. Well, the power play is over, so power play goal. That's the thing, you jump on the rush shorthanded, you don't want to get hurt.
Back in for Kucherov, Nemestikov, Kuznetsov, and a big save. Jimmy Howard got that right shoulder up. Nemestikov tried to play that back to the left point for Dmitry Orlov. It was intercepted. Dmitry Orlov on the loose puck, and he'll send Brady Shea back in behind his own net. Shea passes it for McAvoy, then gets it back. Russia in on the aggressive forecheck, but USA will carry out Eichel. Hopped away from him. Little head fake there by Andronov, and Andronov will skate it out. And just keeps finding a little bit of room. And now Gaudreau for Bukestad. Bukestad for Brady Shea. Shea sends it in. Danny DeKaiser in the corner. Gets it for Bukestad. Back at the line, sent down low. Hayes tried to find Gaudreau. In front for Hayes, scores! What a pass by Johnny Gaudreau. It's 3-3.
The look on Oleg Znarka says it all. Breakdown, Hayes left all alone, and a great feed from Johnny Gaudreau. Some work by Bukestad down low, wins the battle, and Kevin Hayes able to capitalize. Bukestad gets the turnover, and soon just leaves the front of the net. The defenseman is Hayes. A great feed by Johnny Gaudreau. There's the turnover, and Gaudreau Brings that back, quick feed, and those two connect once again as Hayes ties this game at 3. They go back and forth.
29th shot of the game for Team USA. That is the most Russia has given up in any game, or it ties as many as they've given up in any game in this championship. They had given up 29 against Germany. Most of those were in the third period, but they had the 5-0 lead after 2. Third time Russia or U.S. has come back to tie this game. We talked about their resiliency the other day. We are seeing it here this afternoon.
Well, sometimes you look to experience to build off it. Sweden game, down three times in that game by a goal. They came back and won 4-3. Latvia down twice by 2 goals. They came back and won that 5-3. This game, they've been down a goal 3 times. Well, they've managed to come back every time. They're just finding a way to get it done, and that's a bit of that confidence, and that's that building throughout the tournament that Jeff Blashill wanted his team to do, and they have done.
Third game of our triple header is Latvia and Germany, and the winner will claim the final quarterfinal spot. Orlov. Sapachev, Dodonov takes it wide. Dodonov, who is a 20-year-old, went to Florida and put in 55 games with the Florida Panthers. 10 goals and 20 points for him in those 55 games, but he is a much different player now than he was at 20.
Well, and you look at him playing with Sapachev and Gusev, the 3 of them play together in St. Petersburg and put up big numbers as they've combined for a couple of goals in this game.
Panarin with a redirect at center for Dodonov. Sapachev, Dodonov, and it just got knocked away from him. And Tipin has to get back for a new stick. The lead pass for Hayes too far. Provorov for Nemesnikov, and this goes off a stick and out of play.
2 goals for Kevin Hayes. He had 2 assists in his first game since coming over, and they're just a play in front. Good play by Nelson in front as he pushes it over, a power play goal. And then Johnny Gaudreau, great feed in front off some work of Bukestad, and Hayes beats Vasilevsky to the glove side. So not a bad addition for Team USA. He came over after the New York Rangers season ended. He's played 2 games now, picked up 2 assists in the first one and 2 goals here. As Gaudreau gets an assist on that last one to tie it at 3.
Kevin Hayes, 6'5", 227. Chicago picked initially in 2010, and a couple of big goals in this game. Dylan Larkin has the other for USA. Nemesnikov trying to take it to the net. And Jimmy Howard is going to hang on to it.
But Gavrikov may have caught a stick. We're just talking about Hayes and Gaudreau, and Jeff Blashill mentioned it. You try to find chemistry as quick as possible, so it's natural for him to put those 2 players together as they were dynamic for Boston College when they played. Their other lineman was Bill Arnold. Gavrikov took a bit of a stick there from Murphy as he was following, heading towards the U.S. net.
Gavrikov, another one of this young Russian team that is in his first World Championship. Kucherov stripped of the puck by Danny DeKaiser. For JT Compher, and he'll send it out. Belov and Antipin play catch. On for Nemesnikov and on for Kucherov. Kucherov gets stopped. Connor Murphy bangs it out. Comes back in and Connor Murphy controls. One last chance for Brock Nelson, and he rifled that one wide. Chopped to the front of the net, steered away by Antipin. And the second period ends in a 3-3 tie after Russia. Quality chances.
Russia's created some real good chances on not many opportunities. And Team USA continue to put pucks to the net, outshining them 29-14 at this point.
3 goals in 5 minutes and 25 seconds at one point in that third period. Kevin Hayes had tied it early. Anton Belov regained the lead for Russia, and then they went back and forth. Larkin, Gusev, Hayes. And the third period is underway. Andronov trying to lose Noah Hannafin. Sends it back to the blue line, the long floater from that left point from Kasilovic, got blocked. And Team USA back to center and snaps it. It snapped back in behind the Russian net. Kasilovic will try it again. Kasilovic up the boards, Bukestad goes in after it. Bukestad plays it around. Gaudreau and Sapachev had each other tied up. They'll face each other next year when the Flames and the Vegas Golden Knights meet. Bounce to the line, no further, right back in for Gaudreau. His pass picked off by Sapachev. Sapachev for Gusev. Gusev had to get away from him. Jacob Trouba starts back. That pass off the sideboards and Antipin. Had a little bit of room to come up the near side, elected to play it back into his own zone. Then it gets turned over at center and slammed back in by Brady Shea. Artemi Panarin. He finds Kuznetsov. It went off Kuznetsov's stick, and then Kuznetsov and Anders Lee got all tangled up. Vasilevsky jams this away from Kevin Hayes. Kucherov up the boards, gives way to Eichel, and Eichel lost it. Kucherov for Panarin. There's those quick hands of Artemi Panarin. He tried to get it back to Kucherov, that didn't work. Kucherov at center, back for Panarin. In with Nemestikov, but it's turned over.
Played back. Real good gap here, but it's the back pressure. Clayton Keller able to come back, help support the defenseman, and close off before Panarin gets any room to make a play.
Kept in at the line by Schmaltz, but only briefly, and now Nichushkin will lift this into the USA zone, and Connor Murphy is back for it. Murphy for Schmaltz, rink wide Nelson. Hits the line in with Noah Hannafin. Hannafin couldn't catch up to that rolling puck. And Nelson sends it back, and they'll try it again. Murphy for Schmaltz and in. And now a line change for Team USA, but a steal by Schmaltz as he took it away from Gavrikov. Ivan Telegan, nice move around Schmaltz. Gets to the line and sends it in. Didn't get it deep, and Christian Dvorak right back. Andrew Kopp couldn't pick up that pass. Kasilovic cleared it out, and it's cleared right back in. Kopp just inside the line, spins it for JT Compher. Compher throws it through traffic. Kasilovic blocked it. For Plotnikov, and on for Andronov, and back for Plotnikov. And he was stripped of the puck by Danny DeKeyser. Trouba's long pass off a stick, but it gets through. JT Compher to Andrew Kopp off the crossbar. Andrew Kopp, who had the winner the other night on a wrist shot from almost that area, through some traffic and off the crossbar.
I don't know if Vasilevsky caught that until later as he came through a maze of bodies.
Belov down low. Pass intended for Gusev, banks off the side of the net. And T-Pen for Donov, try to get it for Gusev. He hadn't got to that key spot yet. And Charlie McAvoy is on it. Hayes winds his way through center with Bukestad and Gaudreau. Hayes follows up, he's got two in the game. Puts this to the net, and Vasilevsky a sharp angle save. Gusev right back in. He's got two, looking for three. Plotnikov tried to play it back to the near side, didn't get enough on it. Here comes Noah Hannafin. Back for Connor Murphy. Back for Hannafin, on for Nelson. Nelson, nice move, gained some speed. Had it knocked off his stick by the defenseman Zub, whose stick then broke. The long pass ahead for Panarin. Panarin turns, looks for some help. Panarin, nice move, finds some space, and he tried to get that to Barabanov, and it was blocked. Blast from the line. As Provorov lets it fly, and that's grabbed and held.
Well, big blast from Provorov, but it's earlier. It's Kopp with a great chance. Through traffic, Belov goes down and goes off a stick in front, I believe, a deepened stick, and then off the bar. As Andrew Kopp very close to giving the U.S. their first lead of this game. Here's a look at Kopp and Kopfer as they sit side by side. Teammates here.
Kopfer, the former captain at the University of Michigan. Jack Eichel back out. Face-off won by Nemestikov, but it comes outside the line. Nemestikov came into the game at 58.7% in the face-off department, with over 60 face-offs taken. Anders Lee will play this in. Clayton Keller gets it back for Lee. Lee tried to get it back to Keller. And a penalty coming up as the stick gets chopped out of the hands of Barabanov. And Anders Lee, I think, is telling him to hold on to his stick.
U.S. got a couple power plays in the first period for that exact same play. Kucherov, the guilty party on both plays, knocking sticks out of the hands of the U.S. player, and that's what happens here as Barabanov cuts to the middle, the stick on stick check. Boy, just drop it there, you're gonna get the call. Well, that's the third one we've seen, the first of the U.S. in this game, so Blashill doesn't like it either. Russia's power play goes to work. They have a power play goal in this game.
Danny DeKaiser for Connor Murphy. He'll snap this down the ice. Another face-off win for Dylan Larkin. Larkin and Brock Nelson up front on this penalty kill. Trouba and DeKaiser. Gusev for Dodonov. Sapachev will let that come for Panarin. And Dodonov's going to let that go to Belov. Belov tried to play it back to Dodonov, but Connor Murphy had that one read perfectly.
There's a good read by Murphy. They try to move and use that big ice as much as possible to change sides, and Connor Murphy able to pick up that rim and cut it off behind the net.
First place on the line. Will 60 minutes be enough to decide it? And Gusev stripped to the puck, and it's cleared back down the ice. Across the line. Taken by Larkin, and he'll get this back out at center ice. A point is all Russia would need. Better do the math on that one.
USA needs to win in regulation to get first place. And if it goes to extra time, US is guaranteed second spot, Russia first.
Battery on my brain calculator.
Well, is it? Hey, that's not my thing either.
Dropped at the line. Dmitry Orlov tees it up, and that is blocked.
Oh, I think that hit the iron.
Far post on the blast from Orlov. Kuznetsov. Jimmy Howard comes across and makes a big save off that backside on Dodonov. Power play over. Bounces around in front. And this gets taken and cleared by Brock Nelson. In for Lee. Lee the shot. That never got through. Kucherov will play it back for Dmitry Orlov. And a complete change for Russia. Cleared ahead, and this gets backhanded deep. Andronov. Barabanov lost control of it, and that allows Bukestad to skate it out. He can't get into that Russian zone, and Russia will regroup. Here comes the Donov, got stopped by Eichel, and is played back to the Russian blue line. Gavrikov, pass through the middle, picked off. Keller with the wrister, and that got by Vasilevsky, but missed the net.
Well, speed from Keller, great read in the neutral zone, and then down that left wing with some speed and a quick release as that just went high.
Truba got inside position on Donov. And Sapachov on the backtrack takes it away. Belov for Panarin. Panarin for Kucherov and back for Anton Belov. He'll hammer this in. Good work by Keller to get that ahead for Larkin. Martin Zub for Kucherov. He misfired on a pass, and Larkin puts this right back in. Big time minutes for Dylan Larkin in this game again. Artemi Panarin to the line and in. Panarin circles, drops it back. Orlov down low, and the one-timer from Kucherov off the side of the net. And now play whistle down, and
Kucherov took something at the end of that, but I don't think there's a call. This is just on the high stick to the puck.
3-3. We're in the back half of the period.
Congratulations and a big cheer to Mr. Внес for being Skoda fan of the game.
Dmitry Orlov almost gave his team the lead once again in this game, but he hit the crossbar square on, and it stayed out. Jimmy Howard made another save on that last Russian power play. Remains 3-3. The time you mentioned the back half here of this third period, what has been a very good hockey game.
Danny DeKaiser for Connor Murphy. Finally onto the stick of Kevin Hayes. Hayes will drop it back. Murphy finds DeKaiser. He gets to the red line and slams it all the way around, but there's no one there in a white jersey. And Barabanov's first on it. Plays it in behind the Team USA net. Nemestikov had it knocked away from him. And Gaudreau will lift it out at center. Switzerland now up on the Czech Republic 3-1. Winner of that game will finish second. And then as far as third is concerned, they'll wait and see what happens between Finland and Canada. And this is going to be an icing call.
Look at Dmitry Orlov, his second game here with Team Russia. There's that shot from the point. Gets through everyone, got a block in front as DeKaiser went down, went over the right shoulder of Howard and square off the crossbar. Orlov last season played all 82 games with Washington, 6 goals, 33 points.
Andronov for Gavrikov. Gavrikov for Telegan and in. Plotnikov goes to the backboards. Plotnikov took a look over at the referee as kind of took the feet up from under Charlie McAvoy. Andronov, a quick shot, that got turned aside. And Eichel is on the loose puck. On for Lee. He'll drop for McAvoy. And McAvoy sends it in before he takes a bump from Plotnikov. Played around the boards, Keller couldn't trap it. Back into his own end, Noah Hannafin. For Jacob Trouba, spin around by Trouba to get away from the checking of Gusev. Dvorak will carry in. Dvorak to the corner boards with Ivan Provorov. And a good jolt there by Provorov on Dvorak. But the puck back to the line to Trouba. He hammers it. And Vasilevsky wasn't sure where that was. And now Belov flattened Dvorak at the side of the net.
Well, Trouba, the initial shot, the problem is it goes up in the netting and it's a late whistle. That brings everyone else involved.
3-3, it's heating up.
Getting a little testy on the ice as these two teams down to the final 7:33 here to decide what happens. If this goes to extra time, we'll know where they sit. We'll see if USA, if they can pull off a victory here in regulation, that will be enough to put them in first place. It has been their best game of this tournament, something they have built towards getting better. What Jeff Blashill wanted to see. For Russia, they have been control. This has been a big test for them. They were tested against Sweden. They found a way to win in a shootout very first opening game. They've added some more players here in Kuznetsov, Orlov, Chuskin. We'll see how this one ends.
1 point gets USA second. 3 points gets USA first in the pool. Then they'll wait and see what happens with our final game, Latvia and Germany. If Latvia wins and finishes fourth, they will go to Paris. If Germany, because this is their home building, here's a chance and a big save by Jimmy Howard and a penalty coming up.
Mesnikov's going to get it. Sorry, Kuznetsov is going to get the call as he slashes another stick out of the hand. Telling you, just start dropping them. Great chance for Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov goes through. And it's McAvoy's stick that he gets out right before he gets the shot away. McAvoy tries to catch it, and that is a slashing, knocking the stick out of the hands. So a big power play for the USA. They don't agree? Nope.
Team Russia, number
Sixth power play of the game for Team USA. Russia came in here as the least penalized team in the tournament. Cross ice pass, score! Anders Lee has another power play goal. His fifth of the tournament.
Great passing, you go wall to wall, Eichel, Gaudreau, Lee. And that's the speed that you need to move the puck around, and Anders Lee just plants that big body in front and redirects it in. But a good job by Hannafin keeping it in, and then Eichel. The seam is there, he goes cross ice to Gaudreau, Gaudreau gets it right back to Anders Lee as he is on the doorstep, he deflects it in. And the USA have their first lead of this game. Beautiful power play goal.
Four-3.
Well, Team Russia has played undisciplined. They've taken too many penalties for the first time. And now U.S. able to capitalize on a couple of those power plays.
U.S. has scored on back-to-back power plays now. And Russia down by 1. Centered. And that's a chance for Telegan that he was like back.
Frustration slamming a stick afterwards. A great setup by Andronov as he gets in. This line has been good for Russia. Telegan sees the chance he has, but gets a little too much under it as he sends it up and over out of play. A little of that frustration after knowing a great chance to tie this one up right back. Jimmy Howard now, you know there's going to be a push from Russia.
Russia with 6 straight wins. USA 5 straight wins. And first place on the line. Brock Nelson. After another face-off win by Larkin. Kucherov and another penalty coming to Russia. They are unraveling.
That's exactly what's happening. Oleg Znarka cannot be happy. This is dumb penalties. Gets his arm out, grabs the U.S. player, and down they go. Kuznetsov. Back-to-back penalties. He took the one on McAvoy that led to the Anders Lee goal that put U.S. ahead. There it is. Beautiful passing play across the ice. Now he's going to go right back and put his team down 2.
I don't know how you even argue the one that he just got.
They were shorthanded 14 times in the first 6 games. They've been shorthanded 7 here in this game tonight.
Team Russia, number 92.
So the best Russia can hope for. Here's Panarin shorthanded. Save made Howard. What a save by Jimmy Howard off Artemi Panarin. USA right back in. Eichel and Vasilevsky to save. Wow. Noah Hannafin for Eichel, and that's off the stick and wide. Gaudreau chases it down, trying to get it back for Eichel. And Andronov breaks it up and sends it down. What a stop by Jimmy Howard.
That is huge for Team USA.
Kevin Hayes plays it behind the net. Vasilevich is on it for Plotnikov, and Plotnikov will play it down the ice. Into the back half of the power play. First lead of the game for USA. Some room for Schmaltz, takes it wide. Brock Nelson. Back for Trouba. Jacob Trouba will play. Give and go on that far side with Kevin Hayes. Came to the side of the net but grabbed off, and Charlie McAvoy made sure he started to back out quickly. Dylan Larkin sends it in. And the puck, the puck comes up, cut. Gavrikov.
Something caught him. Dylan Larkin possibly. They've got to stick up.
Power play is over. And Russia now with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to find a tying goal. And here they come. Nemestikov. He drops it for Provorov, down for Kuznetsov, centered, and Nemestikov checked by Bjugstad, and Bjugstad puts this into his own bench.
Well, Jimmy Howard, a good job, and here's Noah Hannafin as Panarin comes from behind, little stick check and he's going to go down the other way. And a huge save by Jimmy Howard.
There's a shorthanded breakaway by Artemi Panarin that Jimmy Howard stopped to keep this a 4-3 lead in favor of Team USA. We welcome all of you that have been watching Czech Republic and Switzerland. Big win for Switzerland. And here first place is on the line between USA and Russia to claim top spot. USA must win in regulation.
Well, they've done a good job throughout this whole game. Not happy with the face-off here. Bukestad's going to get out, but they have trailed 3 times by a goal before back-to-back power play goals to give them the lead.
Kevin Hayes will dig in on this face-off after Bukestad got waved out. Panarin tried to get it loose, kept it at the line. Nemestikov, who won that face-off, sends it around for Artemi Panarin. Panarin finds a little room and then tried to play it off the back post. Kucherov now got away with a bit of a trip in behind the net, and the puck is kept in. Kucherov for Nemestikov, and his pass picked off, and Gaudreau tried to clear. Nemestikov broke it up. Back in for Kucherov, wrist shot, that never got through. And Gaudreau will lift it back into the Russian zone. Keep an eye on Andrei Vasileiski as time winds down. Here in the third period. Stopped at the line, but carried in by Gusev. He has 2 in the game, but then he turned it over. And Brock Nelson will send it back down the ice. It has been another very strong game for Dylan Larkin, the youngster from the Detroit Red Wings. JT Compher on it, Dodonov down low. And finally, Russia will work it free. Sapachev's pass for Dodonov failed to materialize.
Russia's done a good job of frustrating Russia. They forced them into taking penalties. They forced them to play in their own end. Very close here to the victory.
Discipline will be the story of this game. If Russia wins it or loses it, they have been in the penalty box a lot. And all penalties for slashing, high sticking.
Ones that were avoidable, and for Oleg Znarka and his team, a situation they're not used to here, trailing, and the fans not happy to see them in this situation. Credit to this young U.S. team, though. They have built towards this. They've done a good job. They've been a resilient group throughout this tournament.
Another sellout here in Cologne, Lanxess Arena, 18,700 plus. And this is going to be another icing call, as Vasilevich's pass intended for Telegan didn't work. The thing with keeping icing it is you don't get the big boys on the ice for Russia.
And that's exactly it, and they're already on the bench designing plays here for the face-off in the offensive zone, but continue to bring it back as Znarka trying to shout instructions from the bench.
Basically, I think his message is go D to D and then up the wall. Telegan cut to the middle of the ice. Now he does flip it in, and Plotnikov goes after it. USA on it though, cleared to the line, glove down by Vasilevic, and then Larkin gets it again and sends it out at center. Anton Belov, Vasilevsky, outside his crease now with under 90 seconds. Sapachev swings it to open ice. This gets knocked down by Eichel, and then Eichel got checked by Anton Belov. Kopp plays it back for Jacob Trouba. Trouba's lead pass too far for Eichel, and this is going to be icing. And the face-off will come all the way back.
Truba doesn't like the call, so Russia finally gets that offensive zone draw, and Znarka will call his timeout now. Well, they already have their play design as they were working on it prior to this. Finally able to get that offensive zone draw. So key moment here is they will look at something, and Jeff Blashill and his group will make sure the defensive assignments are on task. It's been a very good game. A look at Jeff Blashill, his first time behind the bench for Team USA, the Detroit Red Wings coach. Former goalie to play Ferris State. He has won everywhere he's gone. A Calder Cup in Grand Rapids, the American Hockey League in 2013. Trying to lead Team USA to a gold here at the World Championship. And what a save by Howard off Panarin.
We saw Jack Capuano with the clipboard out. Oleg the Rock's assistant coach, Harris Vitulins, was drawing up some plays for Russia.
Dylan Larkin has been fantastic in the face-off circle, and so is Kuznetsov. And it'll be Andronov, though, that's going to match up against Eichel on this side. Eichel being the right-hand shot to his strong side.
Everything gets magnified now with 1:06 to go. Scramble off the draw. Belov tried to get it deep. U.S. trying to clear, and they will. Andrew Kopp will bank it off the boards, and Kopp will chase Sapachev down. Sapachev came off the backboards right in front of the empty net, but Belov there to control it for Artemi Panarin. And the U.S. just clogging up the middle of the ice. Now it does get sent in, and Kuznetsov is after it. Dylan Larkin lends support. Larkin has an empty netter, and they wave off icing as Belov tried to slow up. Larkin breaks this up again. Nelson at the empty net. What a win for Team USA, as they will claim top spot with their 6th straight win.
And there is a shocked Russian team, but this is a USA team that believed. Young, but they came together as this tournament went on, and one of their leaders, Brock Nelson, puts it into the empty net. You can see there's still words between these two teams. Andronov just falls. Larkin there, he's going to pick up another assist as he just lofts this forward, and Brock Nelson skates into it, into the empty net, and 6 straight wins for Team USA after disappointment when they opened the tournament with a loss to Germany. And now they have beat Russia. And this is something, well, hey, you never know what's going to happen in this tournament. A huge victory here as they will get first here in Group A and stay in below.
Russia may or may not have to go to Paris. It will depend on what happens between Latvia and Germany. Sweden now knows they have to go to Paris. Latvia wins and Russia stays. Germany wins, Russia has to go to Paris.
I don't even think Russia's mad now. They have to think they go to Paris and then come back. They will not be a happy team, so disappointment, frustration for this Russian team that got by Sweden and then breezed through their next 5 games. Iraq not happy right now with the ref. There's going to be penalties, I believe, to Kopp and to Lagan. The USA fans are happy. The ones that are here, they're in the minority, but they can celebrate.
Kopp and Telegan, one plays for the Winnipeg Jets. One used to play for the Winnipeg Jets, or at least in the organization. There's a ripped jersey that will have to get sewn up.
Blashill just making sure it is 4-on-4 here to finish the game.
Boy, we've seen this from this USA team. They trailed against Sweden, trailed against Latvia. They never led in this game until the 3rd period.
I think I've been part of the last 2 wins now. They beat Russia 4-2 2 years ago in the preliminary round. They ended up losing later on.
Great effort by USA, lack of discipline by Russia, and the big save by Jimmy Howard off Artemi Panarin, shorthanded when it was still 4-3.
Well, that's exactly